Hi everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw Wolverine. Just so you know, there's a coloring book that you can get through Amazon. Just follow the link in my description and you can get a coloring book to show me how you color to how I draw. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpies. So if you don't want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'll even include one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and get us going. Alright. The intro is supposed to sound a little more cool, a little more edgy, you know, but it didn't quite come out like that. I was laughing to myself after I said, it's like, Wolverine. Almost kind of weird, you know? But that's okay. It's okay. I'm okay with that. It's funny. Makes me laugh, you know? Okay, so I'm going for the old about to pounce Wolverine. So he's going to be all hunched over, all hunching and low. So let's see what we can do here. Yeah, that ought to work. And he's supposed to be pretty short too. Did you know that? He's a very short character. So it just, I never understood that. It's like, well, if you're so short, well, I'm short. If you're so short, why y'all hunched over? You know, it's like you should be trying to stand tall. Be big old man, big boy. Ooh, neighbor's dog making an appearance. You hear that? Let's see. I'm using some varied pictures to see where I can go with this. So yeah, so we'll see if I'm happy with it. First and foremost, because I'm not like this leg, it just kind of looks to me like he's just spread eagle, you know. He's standing there, you know. And I need him more powerful, you know. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. A little more angry, you know. It just looks like he's trying not to let his shoes get too close, you know. That's kind of where I am right now. So I'm trying to find that magic, that this looks forceful, this looks powerful, you know. I think that might work. There we go. That's what it was. That's what it was. I just didn't have them positioned correctly. Alright, that'll work right there. So, that being said, let me try to add some detail to get him, again, to look menacing. And then we can get with the Sharpies, you know. But yeah, first I gotta find the specific detail I was going for, and I'm going for the older costume. Or no, which costume is this? I don't know. Doesn't matter, because right now we're just drawing, and it's basically going to be anatomy. It's all it's really going to be, because it's one of those skin tight costumes like all superheroes. And it's about color, because again, it's just a skin tight latex suit, and it's just about painting it, you know. I was talking to a friend about this, about how, oh, that doesn't look right at all, about how I like and I appreciate the way that the Nolan universe has given us realism in our costumes and stuff like that, and And, you know, he was saying, well, you know, why? We don't need it. Because that's not how we grew up. We're used to them with, you know, what do you call it? Underwear over their pants, that kind of thing, you know? And it's like, yeah, but again, just because we grew up with it, just because that's how we've seen it forever, it doesn't mean that's what we want still. You know, it's like, no, I think it's time for a change. So, you know, it's kind of funny to see this stuff still. But again, like he's saying, but it's what we grew up with. It's what we're used to, you know? So it's almost like, it's as silly as it is, if you change it, it's odd. So go figure, right? What do? You can't win. You cannot win. If you change it, it looks weird. If you keep it the same, it looks weird. I think it's one of those things where you can't make everyone happy. Okay, and I'm just going to do the white eyes. Okay, sorry, I was concentrating there. So the other thing too about this is I had a nephew of mine request this, and so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do it, because I try to do stuff that's relevant, you know, like movies coming out or whatnot, but there's not going to be any Wolverine stuff for quite a while, so I figure why not. The other thing is, though, it's a little bit violent. You know, he's a super violent character. It's not quite for everybody. So yeah, I'm kind of on the fence as to, you know, whether he's an appropriate character for a younger audience. He's not. Absolutely, he's not. He's very violent, very brutal, you know? I mean, he's a good person, so to speak, but he's also, an angry guy who cuts people up, you know? Alright, I think that's good. I'm happy with this. Yeah, I think I'm ready. I think I'm gonna erase some of these sketch lines and get going, because that kind of worked out. Let's see. Yeah. Let's go. Let me erase some of these sketch lines and get ready for the Sharpie, because I want my Sharpie to stand out, not my pencil lines. And I'm just going to erase some of this sketch, but leave myself enough to guide us. And see where we can go. Alright, I think that's going to be enough. I could see enough, but enough disappeared. I'm going to say enough about 3 or 4 more times until that's enough. Okay, I think that's it. Let's welcome everybody that skipped and get going. Why am I grabbing this? This is what I need to grab. Welcome, skippers. Welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because I do a different drawing every day. You can join along and have some fun. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen. Mostly the fine point, but the pen's a little finer than the fine point. You can find things that a fine point can't quite find. I've sketched the entire thing out. I've erased a majority of the lighter lines, and the darker lines, the confidence lines, are what's left over that'll guide us on this Sharpie adventure. So I'm going to start off with a Sharpie pen. I can control the line width much better. You saw the pose, you know where we're going, so I'm just going to dive right in and draw his eyes. Kind of down like this. And I'm just making sure I've got him in the right position, because his head is tilted a little bit. So I'm going to just build off of this. So his mask is going to wrap around like this. And it kind of go down into the nose, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that to about right here, okay? And I'm doing kind of a furrowed brow type, kind of like wrinkle right there for his forehead right there. Let's go ahead and draw the nose so you see where we are. I'm going to go ahead and bring those lines up to the edge like that so you see the edge of it, right? So you can see where we are. So there we go. A little bit of angry brow, you know, that wrinkled forehead brow. Let's see. So I'm going to draw the bottom of his mask like this. Looks good to me. Awesome. And let's see. I'm going to connect it like that. And then come down for his, let's draw his mouth. Like this. Give him a little bit of a bottom lip like that. I'm going to draw his manlet chin. I'm going to start to thicken it up too, because as I switch over to this Sharpie, you're going to see a huge difference in line width. I like that nice and thin for the smaller details like this, but the outer, like the edge, the detail, I want it to really stand out. Okay. All right. Okay, so let me draw his little ear wings. Again, I'm going to thicken them up. And then I'm going to draw the back of his head, but I'm just kind of doing it all together to make sure I've got it looking right the way I want it. Yeah. And remember, if you're working with pencil, you don't have to draw the thicker lines like I did. That's just completely because the way I want to do it. And it's funny, if you've seen the comics, if you'd follow them through the years like I have, everybody gets super creative with these ears. And sometimes they're huge. I mean, like ridiculously huge. And sometimes they're tiny. So it's nice to see what everybody's doing. So I'm just going for an average size, you know, nothing too crazy. But I was talking about this in the sketch, how, you know, you kind of want to get a certain feel for it. So I get why sometimes people go super crazy with drawing a gigantic ear there, you know. Okay, so let's draw his head, or the back of his skull, something like that. And I'm going to kind of clean it up and alter the lines as I thicken this up to make it go the way I want. Awesome. All right, and so okay, so I'm kind of mixing up what FORTNITE does and what comic books do. I like the seams and stuff they put on their suits, so I'm going to kind of play around with what they have. Something like that. It's kind of like a seam in the outfit. There's more, but I think I should do that with color. I just want to kind of do it like that to keep it the way it is. Let's give him a little bit of a no. I was going to draw like face lines, but that might look a little too much like he's laughing, so I'm not going to do that. I'll do that with color. I will clean this up a little bit. There we go. Cool. All right, so up to the big Sharpie, and I'm just going to build onto his costume now. I'm going to draw his shoulders. He's kind of hunched over, so his back's a little raised up like that. And I'm going to go ahead and just draw, and I was talking about this on the sketch. It's pretty much an anatomy, not test, but practice, because it's such a skin-tight latex suit type kind of thing that all we're doing is drawing anatomy. So his shoulders got those big old extra shoulders, so I'm drawing that. That's the only thing that's not quite anatomy. And then I can draw his pecs. Little too much of a corner for that. That should have been a little more round. You know, your body doesn't have corners, but it's just going to work out like that, so that's fine. So we're going to draw his pecs up like this. Smooth that line out. Okay, and again, he's got like his neck anatomy. He's going to do something like this. And we'll just add like a little extra, like his deltoids and his clavicle. And that's it. I want to do more, but here, we'll do this. Just to kind of, you know, accent the way it's over. Okay, we'll say this is the shoulder piece. Like that. All right, so let's go ahead and do the main part, the hands. You know, that's what everybody's here for, right? So I'm going to draw his arms out like this, down to his elbow, and then he's going to have his gloves like that. That'll give us a good start-stop point. Okay, so shoulder into bicep, into the forearm like this, and here, let's go ahead and just do a little bit of anatomy. Something like this, just to kind of show, you know, something like that, that it's just a big old bicep, you know. All right, and okay, so glove. Sorry, I got lost to where I was. Glove. I'm going to draw down to his wrist, and he's going to have his hands up like this, flexing the blades. So again, we're basically just following human anatomy is all we're really doing. So for his hands, I'm going to draw like that. And I can go ahead and draw his knuckles because I'm going to do his blades coming from behind, you know, coming from back here. So we're just going to basically draw a hand. Okay. Then thumb over the rest. Okay, let's kind of connect some stuff like that. Let me do this. Some detail real fast, just to kind of place a few pieces strategically where we want. You know, kind of show some knuckle. Something like that. Again, that's not the selling point here, so I'm not too worried about it, but I just want to give you a little something extra to show the anatomy, you know? Now, for his blades, don't worry about if it doesn't come out perfect. I'm not worried about that. I've already sketched out where they're going, and they are kind of in a weird shape, but I'm just going to draw them. So I'm going to say this one comes out here like this, come right back down. I'm going to stop there because I'm going to have the other one kind of in front of it. Now see how they're kind of at a weird angle? That's okay, because I'm going for a dramatic look, you know? If they're not straight either, you know? Like I said, I'm going for just like a feel more than accuracy, okay? Awesome. All right, next we're gonna do same thing, but we're gonna do it over here. So I'm gonna do, there's the shoulder into the bicep, into the forearm. Draw the glove right there. Again, a good start-stop point. And draw his underarm like this. Oops, be careful with that. Again, I'm going to draw a little bit of anatomy here. I'm going to draw a bicep like this. Something like that. And so now forearm to glove, or glove to the forearm, to the wrist. Okay, and again, now we're going to do the hand again. This one's going to be, let's draw it like this. Something like that. And again, just kind of something like this. Again, once I define it with a few more little lines like this, it'll help make it look a little bit better. Sometimes it looks odd until you add like some specifics, you know. And so we're gonna say this time you can see this part of the knuckle. See how it, like over that way, this one is more bent down. We'll say that, okay? There we go. So again, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna draw, and it's hard because I wanna turn my paper, but I can't. I have to kind of turn myself to get that curve the way I wanna do it. But let's just do it. Let's just draw this one like this. And I'm gonna do the same thing where I'm gonna come in, and I'm gonna kind of stop because I wanna do the other one the way I sketched it. All right. Okay. And look, even those came out a little thicker than that, but that's okay. Because you know what? It's our drawing. It's how we want to do it. It's how I draw, right? Okay, so I do have them hunched over. So that means his waist is kind of a little shorter because you can't really see it as much. So that means his rib cage is coming in like this. Okay. Over his stomach, and we're gonna just go ahead and bend him like this because that's where all of it's kind of hunched over. So I'm gonna draw a belt, and this will kind of maybe define a little bit of a bend point for you. So maybe that'll show you like why we're kind of stretched over like this. And I want to, but I don't want to draw all his muscles like I did right there. But I kind of want to, you know, let color do some too. So I think I'm just going to do that and kind of, oops, I lost my picture. And then kind of, you know, maybe accent it a little like this. And then leave it at that. That way we're not doing too much, you know. Let's give him a big old X on his belt. I'm going to try to make it solid, so I'm going to do like this, so we got something to color in. Here we go. Nice. How's yours coming out? Awesome. Cool. Let's say we're going to give him little loops where his pants are holding up this belt, because if you think about it, if it's a latex suit and it's like skin tight and whatnot, what's that belt for? What is that belt holding on, you know? But we're not trying to think of that. We're just having fun. We're appreciating the drawing, right? Okay, so his legs are way spread out. Now that I look at it, I've got him really huge thighed. So I'm going to bring his waist down like this, and then I'm going to redraw the thighs. Because he's got me hypnotized. Okay, that's an Office joke. I stole that from The Office. I'm going to do both sides so you see where we are. Okay. Going down to the legs like that. And so I'm going to draw his legs a certain style. With it's almost kind of like, well, you'll see. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and draw the bottom of his boot down like this. And come back up this way. And I'm going to do this just so you see where we are placement-wise. Okay. So then I'm going to come up here for his knee, his inner thigh, to his crotch, inner thigh, to his knee, out like that. Now, again, he's got more color than placement of stuff. Like, it's a skin-tight suit. So I'm going to go ahead and just draw his crotch here, like this. Because his legs are spread open and wide like that, so he's kind of putting a lot of stress on his suit, like that. And like I said, I want to draw the color, but I don't. I do, but I don't. So we're gonna do like this for like a knee pad type thing. So I'm trying to restrain myself when I'm talking it out like that and say I want to. I'm trying to restrain myself from the actual drawing the parts that I think color should take care of. Okay. Okay. There you go. So there's a little bit of suit mech look, you know, kind of like the whole what do you call it? G.I. Joe. God, I couldn't think of the word. The whole G.I. Joe. I call it mech tech is what it is. No, what do I call it? I don't know. Let's just keep going. Okay, so his boots, what I was talking about. So I'm gonna have him a little flare, kind of like his ears there. So they're gonna kind of come up like this, a little bit of dramatic look like that. Okay. Down to his ankles. Like this. And then I'm gonna draw the foot pointed out this way. He's got his legs super spread out and exaggerated in that sort. Okay, so again, let's draw a little bit of boot look, a little bit of what's a word I always come up with, but it's just stress on the shoe, you know, something like that. And yeah, that's all I want to do. I don't want to keep going. I do want to keep going, but I shouldn't. That's what I'm saying. When I say I don't want to, I mean I shouldn't. That I should just move on to other stuff. All right. So same thing. We're gonna do this one over here. So I'm just gonna kind of come up and do that. Commit back into anatomy. Same thing over here. Foot down. Something like that. There you go, something like that. That's a little smaller than that one, but hey, that's all right. Again, that's not the part we're focusing on, right? Okay, so now again, just do kind of a little anatomy, a little creases and folds. That's what I always call it. Creases and folds. Little bends to show just some stress on the material. All right, we'll say that kind of comes in like that. Say that one does that. Sure, why not? Let's do it on both. Just accent that. So there you go. I say we take care of the rest with color. So that is Wolverine.
So here's how I colored it. Tell me what you think in the comments below, or show me what you did in our Discord group. Just have fun and make it your own, because remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw, and we'll meet somewhere in between. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures with How I Draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button for new videos.